Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Spill the Beads with Joyce Trowbridge for Softflex Company. Today, I'm going to do work on some bead embroideries. And we're going to just kind of start from the beginning. We're going to do this in a two-part. We're going to do it today. And then we're also going to do it next week at, at our 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm so kind of excited about doing it. I love bead embroidery. We're gonna kind of take it down. We're gonna take it down in two sections so that we kind of can have like a little bit of, you know, it could be beginner, but it's not gonna look as beginner when we're done with it because we are gonna take the time between this week and next week. Hello, welcome. So glad to see you, Hazel. Welcome. Hi, Sherry. I hope everyone has been having fun. Are you excited about our live sales last week? We had so many we had two full live sales of fabulous stuff, which inspired our live sales is what's inspired the Spill the Beads because we had these beautiful cabochons and crystal beads and all sorts of things. I thought, oh, let's do some bead embroidery with that. Hi, Teresa. Oh, I love seeing where everyone's from. Oh, I'm so glad you made it on the start of the show too. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to do that with the different time change, especially with the time change. Did everybody survive the time change over the over the weekend? I don't know if I fully did, you know. I think I did, but I feel like I'm still a little off this week. But anyway, so so this bead embroidery project kind of stemmed from all the beautiful cabs that we have in our live sales. And so this week and next week, I'm going to do a two-parter with it. And then we are going to come back on the 26th and 27th. We're going to have another double hitter Thursday, Friday. We're going to have our regular live sale on Thursday, and then we're going to have a D-Stash live sale on Friday. Oh my gosh. I'm so that you had power out. I'm so sorry. Of course, we do this our live sales every other Thursday at 10 a.m. So you'll either see me doing Spill the Beads this way, or you're gonna see my hands underneath the camera um and doing our live sale. Um so Thursday is my day. And my day with everyone else. I got Thomas in the background and probably a few other people, and I'm excited about that. It's always nice to have our beauty friends. It's so great to see you. Right now, you can shop our craft wire. Did you make some Tree of Life? I been wearing those Tree of Life earrings like so often. I meant to put them on, and I forgot them. So don't look at my ears. They're naked. We're gonna pretend they're on. And they get so much. So if you haven't done that already, you should catch the replay either on Facebook or on our YouTube and watch how I make those Tree of Life with craft wire and the hammer toned rings, the larger one. I think it's the 25 millimeter. Of course, you can use it on a lot of different things. But our craft wire is on sale for 15% using, oh gosh, craft wire 15. I'm hoping yeah, craft wire 15, all one word, no spaces in between. And you get 50% off, which is a great time to to get some craft wire to do. And also, like remember I did the heart last month. And then, of course, wire wrapping these cabs that we have in our live sales. So many fun things. I'm so glad everyone's around. Sherry, all of these kind of videos, our regular videos, like Kristen's Free Spirited Monday's videos and Sarah's bead parties on Wednesday videos, plus like some of our special events like the TGBE or the Customer Appreciation Week and things like that. Those are on. Our live sales only stay up from the Thursday or the Friday that we have the live sale, and it goes until Monday. Now, some of the other people with the Bead Shopping Network might have done something different with that, and they might have theirs up more, but all of these kind of videos is on our YouTube, so it makes it really easy. In fact, there is a playlist of like Spill the Beads or Free Spirited or the play, Sarah's there, so it makes it really easy to find. Yeah. Thank you, Kristen, for that explanation. So true. The live sale is only on our app or our live sale website. And that's only up until the Monday after. So let's get some stitching done. Who's ready to do some stitching? We're going to switch over to my table. I have two things laid out here because I can't decide. And I couldn't decide, but I did decide. I am going to work on this one today. This one is going to be later. But I want to go over some of the materials that we have. So first of all, you want something to bead embroider on. I am using Lacy Stiff Stuff in black. It comes in black and white. I think there's a couple other people that do stabilizer for bead stitching now that comes in different colors. But I either use the black or the white, and if I really want to have a color, I take a permanent marker or a paint pen and I color it on the white one. You can also use felt. Felt is not as stiff. Like this is stiffer, so if you want this stiffer, and it's not as fuzzy, like this doesn't get as fuzzy. Sometimes felt will get a little fuzzy when you're working with it. But it's still doable, and that's usually what I have on hand. I don't always have a stabilizer like this. I say use two if you're using felt, unless it's a stiff, like a thicker stiff felt. Some of the felt's very thin, and sometimes I will use like two pieces together to give it a little more oomph, if that makes sense. Thank you. I see some hashtag stitches. Yes, don't forget to put your hashtag stitch in the comment to be entered into the sweepstakes, and you will we'll draw a winner at the end of this, and the winner will get $10 in their store credit in their account on our website. Which, hello, we got the sale going on, so perfect timing, right? So that's what I'm using today is the Lacy Stiff Stuff bead stabilizer. You can get that in a variety of places. You also, and then of course a cab. I'm going to be using this beautiful moss agate cab that we have for this one, which I'm going to work separately off the camera using the same techniques as what I'm going to use on this one. This is one of those clay, Peruvian clay hand painted cabs. Now this one does have like a rim around it that you could wire if you wanted to, but I also saw these. Rosa gave me those and I thought, oh, that'd be so fun to use too. So that's what I'm going to use today in my demonstration. The other things that we have is, of course, you're going to want some thread. I'm using the silver thread with this one. I'm probably going to pull my gold thread with this one. Those are these threads you can find on our Facebook, on our website, softflexcompany.com. We carry both the silver, which is kind of a light gray, and the gold, which is like they're not metallic, they're just like a goldy color. I've also have some beads to put on. Like I have these 2-hole pyramids that we've had in our live sales in the past that I have. And I'm gonna put those on the top of this, I think, kind of like that. I may even get a little more creative with it once I start doing it. And then I have some 3mm fire polish and rounds that I'm going to use within the piece, but also this one I'm going to make fringe. So next week, we're going to talk about how to apply the beads and stuff on this week. Next week, we're going to um, go over how to finish it, like how to, cut this out and make it look nice, and how to back it. We're going to use a lot of times ultra suede is like one of the most common things to use, but you can use different fabrics. And then next week I'm going to add fringe on it because I love a good fringe on our bead embroidery. So I have also these little metallic, these little brass beads that were brought back from Tucson. I don't think this year. I think we might have something similar this year, but this was, I think, last year's that I have been hoarding. And so, of course, a variety of seed beads. I like to use a variety of seed beads from 15s, delicas, 11s, 8s. I like to have it all. And then some crystals that I think I'm going to put at the bottom. And maybe I have some brass those little drops in brass that I think I want to put in that. But let's get this one going. Is it, Kaylee? That's pretty awesome. I've been like wanting to bring this back for a while, so it's kind of cool that it's kind of like maybe trending a little. So what I first did was I don't glue mine. So I'm going to show you how to do it without gluing. A lot of people decide to glue theirs. And so you can use E6000 to glue that down. Makes it a lot easier. But I personally, I don't know why. There's some reason I don't glue mine. So I just made a circle around, and so that I know that that's the shape that I need to go, so that I can work just around here, and then that will pop in, and I'm going to secure it. So that's what we are going to do. Hi, Jerry Bass. This, you can use felt. This is actually a stabilizer. It is a bead stabilizer that it's the Lacy Stiff Stuff is the one that I'm using today. I like it, but felt works really good too. You just sometimes with the felt, if it seems like it's a thin felt that's flimsy, sometimes I'll use two together when I do that. I got my needle. I tend to use a size 10 needle a lot of the times. And then I'm going to grab some thread. And I'm not going to do if we make this too long of a thread, then we end up having too many tangles and we have this whole back that we could fill up. So we don't have to worry about, what tying more on. What happened to my scissors? I just had them at my stabilizer. Should be right here. Ooh, ooh. Oops. All right. Oh, there they are. Under my beads. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, I have a totally have a tendency to um to lose things too, and then buy another, and then I find it. That is kind of my method of finding things. I have on my mat what I'm gonna use today for this one, um, is size 11 seed beads. This is the one in my stash that matched the pink that was in there a little bit, and then I have some white delicas. Those are the 2 seed beads so far that I have. I'm trying to decide if I wanna add some black, and right now the only black that I see in my area is in my desk area is size 8 sea beads, which I think would be fine, and I might just do that. But I'm also using 2 millimeter fire polish and some, I'm going to be using these crystals, which are like, I think 2x3s. And then I might be adding some of these fun little bits, which we have, these are like 2 millimeter cubes, and these are little pips thought would be fun to put on there. And the delicas are great to use for this too. All right. I'm going to do mine in double thread. You don't have to do double thread, but I just find that it like works kind of good for me. It makes it a little sturdier, and then I don't feel as bad of if I don't go through things well enough. I really made a very messy knot on the back, but that's okay. It goes on the back. Yeah. Oh, Leslie, so true. Those pips are so fun, aren't they? All right. So now I'm just going to use my I'm going to look for, there we go. We're going to go up into, take my needle up into it where the line is. I'm not sure if yeah, no, I'll probably put those in. I really like the way this, really like the way this looked around the cabochon. So I'm going to use these little crystals first. So I am going to use there's a couple ways to do these beads around the base. I'm going to do it one way that I find I like is more sturdy for a base, and this is my base. And then the next row, I'm going to do it with um, the other sizes. So, or sizes, the other version of this stitch. And I'm just going to take about the width of those 3 beads. I added 3 beads, go down and I want it to be not too close. I want it to be very like, I should have gone a little bit further, but I didn't. So we're just going with it. It's okay. And then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to go through 2 of the beads. And I'm going to do this all the way around. Add 2 or 3. Try to aim about the length of the 3 beads together. Go down through your base. And then I'm going to go up at the line and go through 2. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's called couch stitch. It's a type of couch stitch. Some of the names I get confused, and then I realize that I'm thinking of a different one. Go the length of 3, go down, I'm on the line. And then we're going to go up. And through 2. And I'm just making, and it doesn't look so great on the back, and it's okay. It's not supposed to, but we don't have to worry about that. Oh, thank you. 3. Sometimes I pick them up, sometimes I don't. Kind of depends on my mood. Up. Ooh. Ooh. Go. I'm just making my way around. And that's going to look so cool around there. And we're not going to look at it too fussy right now. And I am kind of doing this a little quick. So you got to remember when you're doing this yourself, take your time. Place your stitches where you want them to go. I'm going a little fast, so my stitches are not going maybe as neatly as I would want, but we're going to kind of hack it a little bit. When we're done. It's not going to look so, but just when you're doing this yourself, take your time. I'm just here to show you that it is possible. We can make pretty things when we're trying things new, even if they don't look perfect or what we think is perfect. Because we're not aiming for that. We're aiming for joy. Right? If I aim for perfection, I don't receive joy. So I'm aiming for joy. I think that's the beauty of beading. Who has a stash of beautiful cabochons that they've been hoping to do something with? Are you excited to try something new? I noticed that there's some people that have bead embroidered before. What's your favorite thing about bead embroidery? I think bead embroidery actually there's so many different ways to use bead embroidery. I love when Kristen added it to her paintings that one time I hope she does that again. That was so cool. I'm excited about. I have a big stash and I need to start using them. And so this is like a fun way to start using them. This also is a great way to use some of these little small beads that I've been collecting. Oh, we have a lot of, we have done bead embroidery in different ways in the past. I know Kristen's done some with the little bead embroidery hoops. Oh my goodness. Cabochons your grandfather made? That sounds so amazing. I love that. Oh, we're never patient with ourselves. We could be patient with other people, but it's so hard to be patient with ourselves. I like to put on some of my favorite go-to music and just still have a good cup of tea or cup of coffee, maybe not if I feel like I'm a little jittery. I don't want that added the caffeine. And just take your time. You don't have to work as fast as I'm doing. Or try somewhere you're just using all the big beads. Don't use just the small beads. Like these are bigger than the C beads, right? I could do a lot of bead embroidery is usually done with just the C beads around the space. But there's no rule saying that you have to do it that way. I mean, maybe there's some rules, but I'm going to be a rebel. Lots of 11s. Yes, it's a great way to use them up. Elevens are great for lots of this. You can totally do it, but you do need to give yourself a little more patience and a little bit more time. Whoopsie, this one I did too close. I did really too close. Okay, I could try to work this out. I am double threaded, which means I have the needle at the middle of my thread, and I knotted it, so I've been working with a double thread, and I kind of doing that because I knew that these crystals have sharper holes, so I'm just kind of like giving it a little bit more reinforcement. So when you do that, you have to if you have to take it out, hold straight both the needle, like you gotta pull the needle and the thread away from each other, and then push the item over the back of the needle. That's how you pull out a double thread. I agree, Leslie. I think it's so great we can use any bead. And right now, this is looking pretty messy. Like, I bet you're like, how is that a circle? I'm going very fast because we only have an hour here today. But I'm going to show you these techniques, and when I return next week, it will be beautifully done. It'll be finished, but I'm doing the same techniques that I'm doing. I'm just adding more beads, and I'll show you those added more beads next week. Okay, I think there's only going to be room for 2 more, so we're going to let's try 3. Who knows? But I love that we can use just about any beads on here. There we go. Okay, does that fit? Okay, so this looks pretty, like it's not in full circle, which is sad, but not, because we're going to trick it. What we're going to do is poke up through, and this is one of my favorite tricks of this technique is then I can just go through all of these beads, which with these larger beads, it makes it a lot easier. Come on. Okay, just a few at a time. And I can just run this through. And because I'm running a new thread through, it is going to align these beads more perfectly. See, already it's starting to line it up. So if they look wobbly, you can just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh my gosh, that really is a lot of us doing it. And I've been like planning this like in my head for for at least 4 weeks because I saw the moss agate not in last week's but the weeks before the live sale before that. That's just awesome. Valerie, I'm so glad that you were able to make it. I know with the time change, even though we're like, towards the end of the week now, it takes a while to adjust. And then I go, what happened to the time? I don't know. I was like really liking the morning light before the time change, and now everything's darker in the morning. So I'm, oh yeah, it is, or it's not as early as I thought it is. Anyway, making this all the way through, made it all the way through here now. So I'm not trying to hold this in yet, but I'm pulling that thread. This is where I might have put one bead too many, but that's okay. I pulled that thread so that it made those beads more smooth around. And I'm doing it with my cab inside. And it's just going to cinch it way closer. If I was, which is really nice. Okay. So now that is done. Now, how are we going to get this to stay? Like, I could just glue this down and this will be fine, but I'm going to do a little bit of beads around this edge to do that. Now, if I liked doing math better than I did, and no, I like math. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with math. I would have made sure I knew what the count was, and then I can see what is divisible by, and then I can do this, some other things. But when you're doing it, you can add beads with lots of different stitches. But I'm going to use the design of this to kind of help keep things into place. So I'm going to do a row of beads going across here, and then a row of beads across here. So I have one on either side, and then I'm going to go from there to see what I want to do. So let's see. Oh, let's go. My thread's getting kind of too short to do this next part. I think I'm going to take this out for a second and finish this thread off and add a new thread, which is not the worst thing in the world. I'm just going to do a little knots here. I'm picking up a little bit of the fabric, going under it, making a loop, go through the loop, making these little half hitch knots, and just running it through one more time. And snipping that off. Let's get another thread. You can use longer threads, and sometimes I will test myself and use much longer threads, and then I end up hating myself because I get it tangled. Run a little beeswax or thread conditioner if you need to. I cannot wait to see what everybody brings to the table. I love our big events like that. We have such a beautiful bead community. All right, so I'm gonna just poke this through and then come out of a bead. Poke this back in. And do I want it there? Covers up that design. I think I want to scoot it over. Two beads. So that it's on the edge where the pink is. And I am going to, and yeah. And now I'm going to put my delicas. I'm going to do a row of delicas. Using this white. Oh, I know it's not white, it's silver, but I just feel like it's very kind of on point with it. Oh, whoopsie. Yeah, make sure you get that little full stitch in. Let's see, how many more do I need? I'm going to just make that row go across. I think I need like 2 more beads. 1 more bead. And go straight across and go into the bead across. Ooh, this is getting tricky. Take your time. Give yourself patience. It's not a race. It's only a race today for me because I only have an hour to be with you all. But most of the time, we're not doing a race. And then I'm just making my way over, going through those beads again to the other side where I want to put another line across. Now, there might be, because this one is so smooth, it is moving, like, rounds move more than, like, the oval would stay in place. Rectangles will stay in place. Circles like to spin. So there may be a chance that I decide to pop a little glue so that it doesn't, like, it's not going to fall out, but it doesn't shift. That is like what I'm looking at right now. Let's see, how many beads did I put on here? 10, 15, 16 beads. So let's get 16 beads on here. 12, 4. We're going to make them match. Now I'm going to go across and go through the bead across. And tangle it on my ends, of course. Okay, so right now, that's holding it pretty well. That's not coming out. So like if I wanted to, I could kind of like leave it as that. But I feel like I want to do a little something else to it with the design. So I'm going to make my way over to the other side. And I think I'm going to try to do like a little bit of a zigzag. To kind of mimic those lines. I'm going to go through 2. I'm going to add 2 and go through. Let's see how that works. Oop, come on, just one bead. I just want one bead. So I'm going from the line of delicas here. I went up 2, adding 2, and now I'm going over here. Oh, that's cool. Okay, now I'm going to add, I have a feeling it's going to need to be 3 because it's a little wider right there, and I'm going to skip 2. Did I skip 2? I'm going to skip 2 and go through 2. Oh, that's too close. Oh, Sherry, yes, we're going to talk about fringes on the on next week. There we go. I'm going to talk about putting the final edging on and how to put fringe on. So I'm just doing a little netting here by going back, zigzagging back and forth between the rondelles and the delicas. There we go. And then one more little section. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to end up repeating it over there on that side too. But we're going to do that off camera, I think, because I want to do a couple other techniques. Here. There we go. I like that. I'm going to do that on the other side. It kind of mimics the design here. Nervous about the backing and the edges? Oh, we don't need to be nervous. Next week we're going to go over how to deal with the backing and the edges. Right now we're just going to place a bunch of pretty things on here, you know? So that's like what I'm going to do on this side. I'm going to probably leave it there for that. And now I want to start another section of beads. And so I'm just going to get myself placed like a bead width away. Now this is the other way of doing placing beads. Before, when we did this one, we added some, went down, went backwards, up through it, and then through some beads. And then we did that all the way around and then went through all the beads to secure them. This method is a little different. We're going to pile a bunch of beads on. And so I'm going to do this pink next, give it a nice little pink edge here. And I'm going to put enough to go all the way around this whole piece. So it's going to take me a little bit. Let's get a bunch of these on. Enough to go all the way around the edge. So I'm just putting these on. Or you can do this in sections. You know what? I might do it in sections because I am, you know, we talked about giving ourselves patience. I don't always give myself patience for things like this of getting all the beads on. So we'll see. Like look at that pink, it's gonna pop. But maybe I will. Maybe I'm giving myself patience. Oh, I'm a constant on and off glasses too. I'm almost there. See, it's not taking that long at all. I only just spent a minute. All I've done was spent 1 minute to get those beads on. And I felt like it was like 10 minutes. So that's why I wasn't having, sometimes I forget it really doesn't take as long as we think. Absolutely. We totally need to give it. That's constantly, I'm so, I say that so often to so many people in my life, yet I forget to do it for myself. Exactly. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. And there's nothing wrong with cutting it and starting again. I'm all for that. Sometimes that's how we actually can see what it's hard to interpret what we have in our brain that we want to do. And then until we start doing it. Absolutely. And this is why I love our bead community. We all cheer each other on. We understand understand the, you know, our own, how we think that we're doing worse than we really are. We get together and we rally together. That's the word. Ah, so true, Caroline. So I got enough beads to go around, but they're not secure, and that's okay. I'm going to go through one bead to make that loop. Get it back on here. There we go. Get that all nice and secure. Now, I'm going to go down to the back of my piece. Oop, down. Oh, come on. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Okay. And now we're going to go. So I'm down in this area. I'm going to move over to like here. I'm going to go up. And I'm going to go up from the inside, loop around the thread and back down, and I'm going to catching the thread that's between the two beads. And you're not going to see it because it's just going to go right into the few beads. And then I'm going to move over to the next one. Next section. Oh, oop, I'm going to go behind here. In between. Oh. Ooh, I just pulled that out because I'm being silly. I folded the fabric, so of course it's going to come out because I folded it. When it's all said and done, it's not going to be folded, so we're not going to have to worry about it. And then go back down, looping around the thread. Now these are big section, like I'm jumping this big section over, okay? You don't have to do them frequent to keep these in place this way. Just jumping way over here. Oh, I love that. Yes, doing this with your mom's or grandma's button. I think that's great. I mean, I have my grandma's button box. I might get my mom's too. But I love that you have your mom's. What a fun way. To use them up. And just make sure that thread jumps between the beads and it won't show. So that's the other way to do it. If the way I showed you in the beginning is like feels a little time consuming, this is a little bit quicker. It just feels like it's not. Because you got to put all of those beads on early. And that to me sometimes feels like it takes forever. So that's why I like the other way too, is that when I feel like it's taking forever to string the beads, then at least when I do them a little at a time, it breaks up the task. Whereas sometimes it feels so nice just to put a bunch of beads on. There we go. I think I just need one more right here. All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up gluing this so that it doesn't shift, because it just spins this way in there. All right, we're going to end this thread because it's just way too little now. All right, so that's what I have so far. I need to add new thread and do the zigzag on this side. I may come back and do one up at the top, maybe. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think I like it just the way it is, like that. I'm going to also probably add a row of this around. So I'll do this off camera. So when you see it next week, you'll see that. Now I want to talk about like these, like when I was showing this moss agate one, and I'm thinking about adding these on, right? What I would do is, well, so the first one, I think I might actually have some white ones. If I have some white ones, I might add them in here. But there are 2 holes, and I'm just going to sew through them, you know, sew through them and attach them. And then I'm going to go back and fill up, do the same thing like this, going all the way around, and then probably fill up some beads right in there. That's what I'm going to do with those. There's also, ooh, we're getting time. But we're going to do more next week. We're going to finish these up next week. We're going to add some more decoration, put the ends on, and talk about fringe. So did you get your hashtag stitching? Oh, you're welcome, Kaylee. I feel these two methods right here are like my go-to, that I feel like do the best, like work. Makes me feel the best about my work. So, and then there's a whole bunch of fun little things that you can add. There's always like a bunch of things, but you know, to me, those 2 main stitches can get you so much. You can put so many kinds of beads on. And don't be afraid to, once you put them on, like I did in the beginning, when I put all of those crystals on and then going through them again, that helps smooth them all up. It is, a lot of beadwork, I think, gets a bad rap. I think it looks hard. I mean, it isn't easy. You know, I will admit it takes some learning, but a lot of it is repetition and time. And repetition and time is not that hard. But it's hard to give us that. So give yourself some time, some patience, and some repetition, and you should be able to do it pretty well. Oh, yeah, so this is secure in here. It's in there, and it's because I did a nice tight row, and then I did these ones that went across. You don't have to go across. You could do like scallop around and do a couple different ways to do, but those are what's holding it. In my next, in the oval, I'm going to put secured a little bit different. But if you wanted to, you could glue it. A lot of people glue it. It is a very common thing to glue it down. I don't know why, but I got in the habit of not gluing. I tend to like, I hate glue. I love glue. I love glue. It works great, but I'm messy with glue. So if I can avoid it, a lot of times I do too. Ah, you are great. Thank you. You're wonderful. I love you all. That is so nice. Okay, let's see who the winner is. Did you I yes, Caroline, I am doing every other Thursday or the Thursdays that are not our live bead sales. We'll do our live bead sales at 10 a.m. Like last week on Thursday, and then usually it's every other, but this month I'm gonna do two back to backs. So this week and next week at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to I'm gonna do part two on how I finish it. And if it takes longer in part two, maybe I end up doing it the following spill the beads to do a little bit more. We will see, but I think this is a fun project and worth getting into, and I love that you're responding to it quite well. Let's share the drawing because it is time to draw the winner. Who is our lucky winner today? Do 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 do. Who's our lucky winner? I see lots of Norma Frank. Are you here today? In the comments, are you still in the? You were obviously here. What? Are you in the comments right now? Please say you are. Congratulations, Norma Frank. I hope you are. So glad to. Yay! I'm so glad you are here. Go ahead and email marketing so that we can get all the information that is in the comment right there. Your credit to you. How fun. When you go shop at softluxcompany.com, don't forget to use Craftwire 15 to get 50% off of your Craftwire. That will be great for your Tree of Lives and your wrapping cabochons and all that. I'm going to see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. to do part two of our bead embroidery, where we are, that one, where we're doing, finish the last of parts of this to get that fully secured and into a pendant, and then we will see you the following for a double header of live sales, 10 a.m. on Thursday. I'm not sure the Friday what time. I think it's probably about the same, or maybe it's like 9 or 9:30. I couldn't find that information quick enough. Anyway, thank you so much. I had so much fun. I appreciate you all. I love sharing beading with you. Thank you, Softlex, for letting me do this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.